On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Oh, the curtain lights, this is it, we'll hit the heights, you know what heights we'll hit, on with the show, this is it.
Yes, it is. It's time. Well, it's not a beautiful day. It's just a gorgeous day, isn't it? Aren't you happy to be alive? I hope so. If you were 81 years old, do you think you'd ride 3,000 miles on a bicycle? Just a question. We're going to talk about that today. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240, the one and only Mr. Judd Show. You know, you can follow us at hotnewstalkradio.com in case you're in the office or you're at home. Sometimes that AM signal has a little difficulty getting inside of a building, but that's okay. We've got it covered with hotnewstalkradio.com. Or if you're out and about, maybe you're going to work out, you're on your way to work, you're out walking, you're going to mow, you're going to go turkey hunting or something like that, you can always listen to us on the TuneIn app, and that's on your smartphone, whether you have a Android device or you have an Apple device, as I do. Then you just download the free app, type in Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240, and you can listen to us at any time, anywhere you want to go. Follow us on Facebook, too. There we put up some of our videos. We put up some pictures yesterday from Harvest Fest. Had a good time out there meeting people. So if you got some of our tune-in cards and had the number, we gave away 4 great prizes yesterday. May give away something today. We're not sure. We have not made that decision. Drones, drones, and drones. Yes, we're going to talk about that. Much to do about nothing. Well, but that's what the government does anyway. Okay, Bradley County. This is from News Channel 3. A Cleveland man just finished a 3,000-mile bicycle ride from San Diego, California to St. Augustine, Florida. You know, they make this thing called an airplane, and you can probably do it a lot quicker. But he was doing it for a good cause. The 81-year-old Tom Kaywood finished the ride in just 43 days. That's pretty good. I'm impressed. That's averaging at least 70 miles a day. He did it all to raise awareness and support for the disabled American veterans. Thank you so much for doing that, Tom. Tom Kaywood learned how to ride a bicycle at age 14. This is a while ago. Been riding one for over 70 years. He used to deliver newspapers for the Times Free Press. He was told many years ago after a tragic accident that he would never ride a bicycle again. The human spirit triumphs once again. He didn't let that slow him down, and he didn't take no for an answer. This is a great American right here. I like the way this man thinks. Says he climbed over mountains for years. He broke his back and survived tuberculosis as a child, TB. Doctor said he would never live to see his 21st birthday. Wow. What an incredible story this guy has. Against all odds, he survived a motorcycle crash at 74, learned how to walk and ride a bike again, and then he beat cancer 2 years ago. This guy, he is a warrior. Man, this guy's a warrior. You got to like him. I mean, you have to like him. And think about it. You got up this morning and your foot hurt or your back hurt or you're just feeling lazy. I don't want to go to work. And this guy has been run through the ringer. And he says, you know what I'm going to do at 81? I'm going to take, let's see, the next 43 days and ride 3,000 miles. So you don't, if you're complaining and whining and crying, just shut up right now. Just shut up about it. Because this man is showing you, right? What a great example. This ought to be on every newscast all over the United States. What a great example this young man has said. He said, life is like water skiing. If you slow down, you go down. If you don't want to go down, then don't slow down. I like that. I'm going to have to keep that. You know, he's right. If you're not going full force into life and living life to the fullest, what happens? You start to slow down. You start to say, I'm tired. I'm getting older. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know, how about if I did that? How about if I said, you know what? I'm feeling kind of down today. I'm feeling kind of older today. I just can't cat juggle. I just can't cat juggle anymore. And these cats love it. I mean, they love it. How about if I did that? Think of the joy. Not only I'd be taken away from the people that view us on YouTube, and it's very simple. Go to Hot News Talk Radio, go to YouTube, and then type in Hot News Talk Radio. You know, they enjoy watching. And then the cats absolutely love it. And think of the joy I would be stealing from all of these other people, plus the joy that I have in my heart by juggling these young cats. And this man, at 81 years old, he says, I think I'm going to not only ride a bike from San Diego to St. Augustine, Florida, but I'm going to do it for a worthy cause. I mean, he is just, you know, he is my hero. So, and you know what? The Cleveland YMCA honored Tom and his wife, Pat, Monday. Together, they finished the 3,000-mile journey from San Diego, California to St. Augustine, Florida. Tom biked the entire way, averaging about 15 miles an hour. So he rode, I guess, anywhere between 7 or 8 hours a day. Well, I'm glad someone has honored him. He needs to be honored. And this man is, we looked at sports, we looked at TV and folks like that to be our mentors and to be our heroes. This young man right now is a hero. He needs to be speaking in every school. He needs to be slapping every teenager upside the head and said, stop your whining, stop your crying, and get up your dead butt and do something. And then all he's got to do is tell him what he's done. You sure can't argue with him. Make an argue with me wouldn't do you no good, but you can't argue with this guy. He needs to be talking to every teenager, every 20-something, because this man right here is making a difference. At 81 years old, surviving cancer. He has a motorcycle crash, has to learn to walk again. This man right here is a survivor. Okay, you know we are the official NASCAR radio station here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And you know NASCAR's big when the great DT, the one and only David Tulis, is talking about it on his show. You know, NASCAR is huge, not only in our part of the country, but all over this country. And we're really getting down to one of the great races of the year, Talladega. They're there twice a year. The fall race is always big. And this one has some pretty big implications because they're going to cut 4 drivers. There are 12 drivers that can make the chase, which means they can participate in the championship. They're about to cut it after the Talladega race. They'll cut it to 8. Okay. Your leader is Joey Logano. He's won the last 2 races. Denny Hamlin is number 2. Kurt Busch is number 3. Carl Edwards at number 4. Number 5 is Kevin Hardwick. Jeff Gordon, who retires at the end of the season, is number 6. Brad Keselowski at number 7. Martin Truex Jr. And people are going, huh? Who is that? At number 8. So there's the cutoff, number 8. If it were called today, if for some reason Talladega didn't happen, then it would be those 8 would be left in the chase. And then they're going to cut it down to 4 after the next 3 races. So here's who's teetering. I mean, here's who needs a win, and it's going to take a win. Kyle Busch is number 9. Ryan Newman at number 10. Little E, Dale Earnhardt Jr. at number 11. He needs a win. He needs a win, and he needs to hope that his teammate Jeff Gordon or Brad Keselowski or Martin Truex Jr., something happens there. And then Matt Kenseth, who was one of the leaders and then had finished 14th after being spun out by Joey Logano in Kansas City. So there's what's going on in NASCAR. We are the official NASCAR station. You can listen to every lap of every race. It's going to be Sunday, and it's the big one, Talladega. It's a super speedway. One of the great venues in sports anywhere, especially in NASCAR, is Talladega. So we hope you listen to us here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. We're also going to be carrying NFL. And the way that works is NASCAR supersedes NFL. So if you're an NFL fan, I'll have that, you know, what games we're going to have later on in the week. And, of course, this is the big week. This is Alabama-Tennessee week. If you're a Tennessee fan, there's hope for you. You're thinking, you know, if we play like we did at Georgia or with Georgia in town, maybe we can beat Alabama. Of course, Alabama looks pretty sharp right now. I mean, you know, they took a pretty explosive offense in Texas A&M and kind of worked them over pretty good. But that's this Saturday, and everybody, I think it's a 3:30 game. And that's going to be a big game. And, it's big for Tennessee. What happens? Does Tennessee hang around? Even maybe if they don't win, if Tennessee looks good and hangs around and ends up being a 4-point game or something like that, that would be pretty good for Tennessee. Now, remember, I believe it's not tomorrow. It's going to be on Thursday. I'll be on Clutch with Keon Rose, and that's our sports show that comes on at 1 o'clock from 1 to 2. And we'll be talking about Tennessee, Alabama, as well as 9 other games when we do our picks. Have not seen how we did this past week. I know that we both picked Ole Miss, and Ole Miss got beat by Memphis pretty good. So you'll want to listen to Keon Rose show. Yeah, actually, you want to listen anywhere, anytime I'm on the radio, you want to listen. If I'm on Keon's show, if I come in and do like a little cameo on the great David Tulis show, who's on from 9 to 11, or even on the digital drive. Even on the digital drive. I know the adolescent is, one of the great personalities here at Hot News Talk Radio. But what makes him even greater is when I grace his presence.
After this chilly and frosty start in some areas, expect lots of sunshine and great-looking weather for today. A little warmer, highs into the upper 60s. Tonight, clear, not as cold, lows lower 40s. For the midweek, more great-looking weather, lots of sunshine. A warming trend continues with highs into the 70s. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's, home of the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world-famous sauce. Open daily locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm WDEF News Swallow Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report, every Sunday at 9 a.m. Did you know that a quarter of the world's population will experience mental illness? My guest this week is former Congressman Patrick Kennedy, who says the United Nations must make mental illness a priority. Find out why this Sunday at 9 a.m. on the Costa Report, right here on AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
Here you are, working to keep your customers happy and to manage your cash flow. IRS problems are the last thing you need, but here they are, flapping about you like vultures. Get help from Eric Pelton and his team of accountants at E.J. Pelton Company. Audits, letters, proposed return changes, 1099s, penalty threats. Pelton Tax Resolution Services brings peace of mind and helps you keep more of what you've earned. EJPelton.com. Offices on Brandon Road and in Saudi Daisy, just north of the Bilo. That's EJ Pelton. Call 622-3156. Think ahead, 622-3156.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got third. He's going for second. Earnhardt going for the lead.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Hear it live on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Check it out live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Are you tired of working in corporate America, or have you recently lost your job and would like to consider owning your own business? If you are, please call me, as I can help you look at franchises or business opportunities that fit you, the economy that we're in, and the type of businesses that are right in the greater Chattanooga area. After I help my clients find the right opportunity, I also help them find the best way to finance the business, including paying yourself through the startup phase. If you would like to learn more about opportunities that may be right for you, please call me for a free assessment. My name is Bruce Krebs at the Entrepreneur Source. Phone number is 423-875-5621.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
If you have the DTs, the shakes, because your phone is on the fritz, you have nomophobia. You need help. Your telecom doctor is in. Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall. Cell Surgeon yanks open the ribcage of your phone, pries out the dead heart, and puts in the beating life that you lead on your cell phone. Broken screen, phone not charging, water damage, battery given out? Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall next Old Chicago Pizza. Check us out on Facebook. Open Sunday. Cell Surgeon. We bring your phone back to life. Mention Hot News Talk Radio and get 10% off.
This is America Now with Meghan McCain.
Al Gore running is crazy. You're flying around in your private jet all over the world, and you want average Americans to care about the environment. Don't you think you should be doing your part as well?
Meghan McCain, weekdays at 7 p.m.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, you'll find me right here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. Now, tomorrow, we have this doc is in the house. She rocks the mic. It's the one and only Dr. Danielle Mitchell, Ironman athlete. Great doctor. She has the Chattanooga Sports Institute. It's a family practice. You know, they do orthopedics, urgent care. Just, you know, she's just a good doctor, and she believes in nutrition and exercise, and you need to go see her. I mean, you need to go see her. You need to listen to her tomorrow from 11 to 12. Now, she's here every other Wednesday and tomorrow. And the name of her show is This Doc is in the House. But if you can, get over and see her. And she's right there at 4208 North Access Road. Give them a call over there at 423-875-1005. That's 423-875-1005. And we look forward to her being in here. She brings a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of knowledge. That's right. I mean, and you know, she talks about nutrition and how important it is, just even if you're not an Ironman athlete, but how important it is for you just to be, you know, just to live life the best you can live. So you can be 81 years old, and so you can bicycle 3,000 miles across the United States for whatever charity you want to raise some awareness to. How about that? VW's in the news. You know, and to me, I'm going to say this once again, this is a manufactured story that the liberal media is just all giddy about. And you know what, Chattanooga media? You better watch it. You're going to keep running this and dog it, and you're going to look up, and Volkswagen may be gone. And how many jobs can you, the media, have you cost Chattanooga and Hamilton County? Oh, no, it wasn't us. It was the lying of the great corporation of VW. Did they lie? Yes, they did. But what they did with the emissions thing was really no big deal. Okay, they got caught. Fine them. Let's change it. Let's change the way we do our inspections. Let's get back to making automobiles. What's more important, jobs in this country, or the media getting to run around and dog some corporation because they've got the big one for it? Says lawsuits could force VW to buy back cheating diesels. Okay, well, you know, it could not. It's a lawsuit, whoever wins. So it might not. You know, I mean, how were the owners affected? You're driving around and your car's running great and everything's good, and you're really not affected by this whatsoever. The weather didn't change. You know, we got striping in the skies. I mean, David Tulis himself will tell you the stuff they're putting out in the skies is 1,000 times worse than what these little VW diesels were doing. And as an owner of that VW diesel, how are you affected? You're just riding along. All of a sudden you hear this news story. I got to sue somebody. Here's my chance to make some money. There might be the problem. Maybe instead of wanting to sue VW, you should go down there and fill out an application and maybe go to work for VW to make your money. Wouldn't that be an odd concept? To work, not get something easy and free in America? Anyway, I just think this is much to do about nothing, just like the drone regulations, which we're going to talk about in the next segment. You know, it's consider the government as a camel. And when that camel's nose gets in the tent, what follows? That big old camel's butt. And that's what we don't want. So, you know, VW, what they did was wrong by deceiving the EPA, which I think the EPA probably deceives us a lot more, especially when it comes to climate change, a lot more than VW ever did. So maybe we should start fining the EPA. I think that's what we should do. I think Hot News Talk Radio, a local radio station here in Hickson, Tennessee, owned by local people, I think we should sue the EPA. I mean, if that's what they're going to do and maybe they can buy back our climate. since the lawsuits would force VW to buy back cheating diesels, maybe we can have the EPA buy back our cheating climate. Since they've changed it, I think the EPA should do that. Now, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Well, so does this article. So watch what you say. I mean, come on, VW, we're happy to have them here. It is ironic that they're at this place where we actually made ammunitions to bomb the Germans to win the war, and then the Germans come over here. You get all that. But still, in this day and time where jobs still aren't that plentiful, maybe, just maybe, we need to be grateful and thankful for the jobs. I'm not saying what they did was right, but what they did wasn't so heinous and wrong that you crucify them for it. We need all the jobs we can get in this country. We've done a fantastic job over the past 30 to 40 years of shipping jobs away. It's time to get some back. And when they come back, let's not beat up the evil. Every corporation is not evil. Every government official is not evil. Keep that in mind. I mean, Donald Trump catches it. And we're going to talk about him probably later on because he's a billionaire, the evil billionaires. Well, I mean, maybe we need to learn from these people. How did you make your money? Well, they had to make it, he had to be doing something wrong. Somebody had to get hurt because there's only an infinite amount of money around. Well, in my world, there is no infinite, or there is an infinite amount of wealth. It's not finite. If I get my money, doesn't mean someone else is not going to get theirs. And that's how most of these people think. Well, it's been a very serious show, hasn't it? Well, we're not going to lighten it up anytime soon because we got this drone talk coming in. And, I'm passionate about that. I guess I'll just have to juggle some cats and kind of cool down and get my wit about me and take a deep breath. My gosh, you're going to think I'm Mike Bullitt. You remember Mike Bullitt used to be on here all the time? Boy, he was loud and screaming, obnoxious. And he's gone. I mean, he went to another market. And I think they will love him down in Rome. You're listening to Mr. Judd Show. I hope you're smiling. Come on, let's smile. Let's think about that 81-year-old riding his bicycle, doing something great, giving us a wonderful example. So let's smile. Let's not get these lawsuits get us down, the sky striping get us down, or even the digital drive. That's from noon to 1. Follows me.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
After this chilly and frosty start in some areas, expect lots of sunshine and great-looking weather for today. A little warmer highs into the upper 60s. Tonight, clear, not as cold, lows lower 40s. For the midweek, more great-looking weather, lots of sunshine. A warming trend continues with highs into the 70s. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's, home of the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world-famous sauce. Open daily locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's. It's always good. And I'm WDEF News 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Core. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, myself for all the action.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If it's the NFL, it's right here.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Social media, we're on that. Hot News Talk Radio on Facebook, at Hot News Talk Radio on Twitter. Download the TuneIn app and follow us anywhere at any time. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If the South would have won, we'd have had it made. I'd probably run for president of the southern states. The day Elvis passed away would be our national holiday.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. The field of Democratic presidential hopefuls narrows.
Fresh off a not-so-memorable performance in the first Democratic presidential debate, former Virginia Senator Jim Webb will announce today that he is dropping out of the Democratic race for president. Webb, who has barely registered in the single digits in most national polls, is said to be disillusioned with both political parties, particularly the Democratic Party.
Fox Radio's John Decker, a man in his 40s who worked at the Fukushima nuclear plant after the disaster 4 years ago, is the first person confirmed to have developed cancer from radiation exposure. And an update on Lamar Odom, according to a family representative, he left a Las Vegas hospital by chopper and is in Los Angeles.
The former NBA star was found unconscious in a Nevada brothel last Tuesday. Reports from a 911 call say the former reality star had done cocaine and he had taken 10 herbal Viagra supplements.
Fox Radio
You give us 12 minutes and 4 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 minutes and 40 seconds. We'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Should I? It's that kind of day. It's kind of warming up. I'm wondering, should I?
Take it off. Take it all off.
Well, since you asked so nicely.
Nothing takes it off like
The Mr. Judd Show. You know what? I had a problem this morning. I got up and I was kind of off kiltered. I got my Rogaine and my Viagra mixed up. So you can see if you go into right now, my hair is standing on end. If you go on to Hot News Talk Radio at YouTube, you'll see what's going on. So it's kind of been that day. I guess that's why I'm a little off. So it's normally, a little a lighthearted show, but then I've got this going on and that going on. So maybe you want to go and see, you'll see my hair standing straight up because of that little mix up. Okay. Drones, that wonderful fruit. The more you eat, you don't need to be eating drones. So they make a huge deal out of the government is going to set a policy for drones. And basically what they said is we're working on it. Okay. This is from thehill.com. Lawmakers who have raised concerns about potential privacy violations from increased drone use said the registration requirements would not be too burdensome for drone users. Now privacy concerns. It's okay for Google to ride around and take a picture of everything, but a drone can't, because they're going to get in your backyard and they're going to see that you haven't weeded your flower bed. We have spy planes flying over, and we got satellites that can read the serial number on your lawnmower, but these drones, do you realize your neighbor can fly over and see your garage? These evil drones. Article says we require car registration to ensure safety and accountability. We should do the same for drones. Now, this is Senator Ed Markey. He's a Democrat. We know where the Democrats come from that evil Pokemon. Now, and we do. We require that you get a car registration, and we require that you get a license. We also require that you take a test. So how is registering a drone without a test or some education on the flying of the drone, how is that going to help? See, the nose of the camel's coming in. We have rules of the road, says the brave in this brave new world. We need rules of the sky, he continued. And this is the Democrat, Senator Ed Markey. Standards for informing the public and promoting the accountability must be put into place now to protect safety and individual privacy rights as drones are taking flight. We don't have these same privacy rights when they're, garnering all of our information from our cell phones or our email. No, that's we're fighting terrorists. But these privacy rights with me flying my drone in an empty lot, we got to be careful, because that guy right there, there's no telling. He may take a picture. He may post it on the internet, and there may be nothing in that picture. But we're going to go ahead and harvest all of your phone information and keep you safe from terrorists. Drone advocates say they are glad to be a part of the process of creating a registration system for the devices. And I like that. I hope they do allow people that are in the drone industry to be part of this and not just shut them out in a bunch of ding-dang old bureaucrats get involved and come up with something that's, not even close to what we need. UAVSI welcomes the opportunity to join the task force of government industry stakeholders, said Brian Wayne. All right, we have a caller coming in. We're gonna take this call and put him on hold until I finish my thought. All right, caller, you are on the air, but I'm gonna put you on hold right quick. Okay, we put him on hold. He'll wait right there. And he says. Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened there. I think he was calling from Puerto Rico or something like that, and we probably got a bad line. And I appreciate all of my listeners in Puerto Rico. It's a great area, and they listen via the internet on hotnewstalkradio.com, or maybe they're listening on their TuneIn app. You don't ever know. And the TuneIn app's the same thing, Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240, which you should be listening in your car right now. All right, UAVSI welcomes the opportunity to join the task force of government and industry stakeholders, says Brian Wynn. He is the president and CEO of the Association for Unmanned Vehicle Systems International. Now let's take this call, now that I've finished my thought and statement. Caller, you're on the air.
All right, let me weigh in on this. You'll always find a lunatic that wants to regulate and over-regulate. I'm going to give you a couple examples. In the state of Florida, one does not need a pilot's license to fly an airplane. There's no law requiring that in the state. Now, if they fly in the controlled airspace, which would be where the big airplanes go, they can get in trouble for that, for violating public safety. Laws don't go beyond what the common person can understand. There are already laws in place to address this. But laws that govern particular items like powered parachutes or drones will tend to diminish the availability and the creativity of saying. That's what government does when it regulates. And I'm going to give you an example of the powered parachute industry, whereby you're sitting in this little craft with an engine behind you, and as you move forward, the chute goes overhead and you fly up. Well, in the 2000, there was about 20 to 23 companies manufacturing these. And the pilots got the idea of, let's be regulated and control it now. Let's go under sport pilot. And these are things that just fly with a parachute over them. Well, they got their way. We are now down to 2 manufacturers of powered parachutes because of regulation and over-regulation and potential lawsuits. We want to know who controls these and runs these and owns these. The laws are already on the book regarding public safety. The problem is that people equate liberty with slavery, that lawmakers are there making laws which are anti-freedom. The entire principle of the country is self-government. And when you don't self-govern and you damage property, you could be sued or criminally prosecuted. We don't need to be governed more. We need to be governed less.
I would agree with that caller, and thank you so much for calling in. And I agree with him totally on that we don't need regulations on this. In anything you're doing, there's idiots. There's idiots that are driving. There are idiots that are flying airplanes. There are idiots walking down the street, and we can't govern idiots. We can't make laws. We don't need laws for idiots. Stop and think about this. One of their big things they want to do is require you to register your UAV. Okay, I do that. Let's say I register my UAV. Then I go out to the airport and I'm flying all around the airport taking pictures of airplanes because I'm one of these idiots and I think it's a great idea. And then I land and I put it in my car and I drive off, and the pilots say, hey, there's some guy out here flying a drone. What's going on? Guess what? How are they going to find me? I mean, are they going to put a transponder on the drone that emits? If they do, that is going to change the drone industry. It's going to make them more expensive. So what you're doing, and I think a lot of this, the pilot industry is behind this, because these drones, these UAVs are going to take and do a lot of jobs that pilots were doing. And instead of the pilots embracing the new technology, what do? They immediately want to go after and let's do the same old thing. I mean, it's hard. how we're mapping fields, even how we're putting down fertilizer and how we're doing irrigations. I mean, so it's already doing that. So we're seeing that. So do we need government regulation in this? No. Like the caller said, there are already laws on the books. Now, maybe the airports can come up with a system that is a very low frequency system that will not bother planes, but will maybe set up a zone within 2 miles or 3 miles of the airport that emits a signal that when you're trying to fly the drone, then it causes problems with that. You know, you have these people go out and spend $300 or $400 and they start losing their drones left and right. The idiots are going to get out of it. I mean, they're worried there's going to be 1 million. They said 1 million drone sales would top at Christmas. Well, most of these drones, first of all, are going to be so small that you're probably flying them in the house or the backyard because you're not going to be getting high enough that, I mean, you're going to lose sight of them. The wind's going to blow them off or something like that. And caller, we're running out of time. So if you want to call back in the next segment, you're more than welcome to. But I mean, just stop. If we stop and think about it and look at it common sense wise, and I know the government has to do something because you know how many sightings pilots have seen? Hadn't had an incident yet. Have not had an incident yet, but pilots have seen drones. They're not saying they're in the flight path, even though some have been, a very small few, but they're saying we've seen drones. Well, big deal. You see birds too, don't you? How many bird strikes do you have in aircraft? Well, this is a very intense show for my show. Are you sure I'm not doing the David Tulis show? You know, he's on from 9 to 11. I think some of his karma has been left here in the studio. I need to shake that loose. We're going to have that caller call back and we'll get some intense words from him, and then we'll go from there.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
After this chilly and frosty start in some areas, expect lots of sunshine and great looking weather for today. A little warmer, highs into the upper 60s. Tonight, clear, not as cold, lows lower 40s. For the midweek, more great looking weather, lots of sunshine. A warming trend continues with highs into the 70s. For lunch or dinner, come to Guthrie's, home of the original golden fried delicious chicken finger with their special world famous sauce. Open daily locations in Trenton, Signal Mountain, and Ringgold. Go get Guthrie's, it's always good. And I'm WDEF News Swell's Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare. On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Trade Bank. Call now to get access to nearly 400 local businesses. Trade Bank. Call 877-2202. 877-2202. Trade Bank. You want to increase your cash flow, your competitive edge, attract new customers, and build a loyal customer base. You need Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call right now. 877-2202. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want with our wide variety of Trade Bank partners. For almost 30 years, Trade Bank has been your voice for small business, a member of the American Bankers Association, and in good standing with you. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation. 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
Tired of insurance companies? Tired of doctors that won't spend time with you? Do something different. Leave the sick care model of medicine and come to Dr. Danielle Mitchell, the Chattanooga Sports Institute and Center for Health, where we're interested in long-term health solutions, not the quick fixes. Come see me, Dr. Danielle Mitchell, at the Chattanooga Sports Institute and Center for Health. I'm all about the long-term healthcare solutions and doing what's best. On the web, you can find me at ChattanoogaSportsInstitute.com. That's ChattanoogaSportsInstitute.com. Or call us at 875-1005, 875-1005, or find us on social media, Facebook, Dr. Danielle Mitchell, or the ChattanoogaSportsInstitute.com. Let's go, ya!
The Fed raising rates, China's economy in trouble. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Patrick Neal. At Edward Jones, we provide the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Stop by my office next to the Target Shopping Center in Hickson, or call me at 423-870-7894. That's Patrick Neal at 870-7894. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Social media, we're on that. Hot News Talk Radio on Facebook, at Hot News Talk Radio on Twitter. Download the TuneIn app and follow us anywhere at any time. AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Ooh, baby, it's the Mr. Judd Show.
Yes, it is. I've calmed down. You know, you put a little vodka in your cup. I think it was vodka. I'm not sure. It may have been moonshine that David Tulis got this weekend while he was in the valley, the Sequatchie Valley. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. This is Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Hot News Talk Radio. I think on Twitter it's Hot News Radio. You don't do a lot of talking on the radio. Well, here's the caller I'd asked to call back, and they are so nice and so polite to do that. So we're going to get them on the air. Caller, you are on the air, and you wanted to talk about you're a private pilot. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've been flying planes since 1984, and I can tell you drones are not an issue. It's just that the government wants to regulate everything. There's just no issue. When you're on final, you're at 900 feet. And by the time you're at 400 or 500 feet, you're almost on the runway. And let me tell you, and I fly the smaller planes, 4 or 5-seaters, 2-seaters. If a drone would hit the plane, it would destroy the drone.
Oh, absolutely.
Birds are more dangerous.
Yeah, drone loses on any plane strike.
It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And another federal government attempt to regulate. Remember this too: the FAA has no criminal powers of prosecution. That's number one. Number two, I have flown and can fly airplanes without my transponder on anywhere in the country. And pilots do it all the time. They may scare people, but let me tell you, there's a lot of people out there flying without transponders on legally. The only time you need to have a transponder is if you're in controlled airspace, which is like Atlanta or Orlando.
A very busy airport.
The big airports.
A very busy airport.
And I can tell you, you can actually, in some instances, fly very close to these airports out of their airspace. And that airspace looks like an upside-down wedding cake, even without a transponder on. You only have to talk to them if you're in their airspace with a transponder. So America is very unique in the fact that you can get in the craft that you even built and fly all over the country, and as long as you don't get into their airspace, these very big airports, you legally don't have to communicate with anybody or tell anyone you're even in the air. Or in some instances, register your aircraft.
And you know what I could do is I could take a camera and be in your aircraft and zoom down and get a better picture of someone in their backyard than you could with my drone.
Well, we see now with, and I'm going to take one little jump here and get off, with global warming or climate change, that we always said the government can tax everything except the air you breathe. And they even want to do that by saying you have a carbon footprint. These are very evil people whose primary function is to take away every liberty you have. And they'll do it by deception, they'll do it by threat, and they'll do it by force.
When I call
Republicans, Democrats, Congress, and every single bureaucrat is your enemy.
And it's Pokemon that's got in these people's brain. But I want to ask you one question. When did you say you started flying?
1984.
Okay, so you and I'm guessing the Tom K. Wood out of Cleveland, the 81-year-old that just rode 3,000 miles, you and he are probably close to the same age. And I'd like to challenge you to maybe do something like that and bring awareness of the private pilots and drones. Maybe you could fly across or ride your bicycle or walk across country. Would you be willing to take that challenge there, caller?
I'll tell you what my dream is, to take something like an Alaka Champ or a Cub that flies at about 85 miles an hour and start in Key West, Florida, and end up in Anchorage, Alaska. Oh, that would be fun.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll go to Key West with you. I'll stay there and I'll wait on you, and then you send me reports from Anchorage.
And what you do is you land on little uninhabited areas or uninhabited roadways and basically camp out under your wing.
Well, see, that would work perfect.
It would be a 3-month adventure, but that would be fun.
Yeah. And I think that'd work perfect. If I go to Key West, I could do my show from Key West. And then, my intro music in my third segment would be perfect. Thank you so much, caller, for calling in and informing us. Okay, thanks. See, that's just the power of Hot News Talk Radio and their callers. And it is, like he said, if you stop and think about it, these pilots can fly all over, private pilots, small planes can fly all over the United States and not have a transponder on. And why is that scary? Well, it's not. We need to somehow, we've been ingrained that we need to know what everybody else is doing. If I don't know what you're doing something wrong. And if you don't want me to know what they're doing, you got to be doing something wrong. Why can't we just live? Why just can't we live? Wouldn't that be an excellent concept? All right, a few national stuff, and I think this is hilarious. And I'm not a Trump supporter, even though I do like Ben Carson. This is from Newsmax, and there's the latest poll is out, and it says GOP presidential frontrunner Donald Trump has his highest showing yet in the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, which I think is hilarious because they always, this has got to end. He won't make it through September. He's not going to make it through October after the next debate. I mean, I don't understand why the media who should be the watchdog, I know they're not. I mean, he's an outsider. Why do they not like him? I think he's funny. I think he has nothing else. He has made this election cycle entertaining. So his poll numbers, Donald Trump brings in 25%, Ben Carson at 22%, Marco Rubio at 13%, Ted Cruz at 9%, and then there's poor old Jeb Bush, Jebby boy, at 8%, and then you get Carly Fiorina is still at 7%, and then it just drops way off, which you're going to probably see a lot of these people get out of the race here in the next month or so. But I mean, Donald Trump, people I love the look on the reporter's face when they give this information out. It's just like will he not go away? Please. Come on, you're just really upsetting it. It's supposed to be Bush versus Clinton, and we've done all of our research, and we've done, all of our stuff for that. And that's really what we want, is Bush versus Clinton, because we have just done, tons of research on it and on them. And then that way we know, it makes it all good for them and good for us. And we can talk bad about Bush and compare him to his brother. And then because Hillary Clinton's a saint and, she should be in a monastery because she's just a lovely woman. And her husband's not some nut. Anyway, we'll get back to something that, did you listen to the David Tulis show? And he had this great person talking about local, because that's what David does. And let me see if I want to read here. Here's what, David believes and what his show believes. It says, love your neighbor. Far is better than near. Big is better than small. Complex is what? Excuse me. Hold on. Russell Stroud, news director, is all. I'm sorry. I had it upside down. Here's what it says. Near is better than far. Small is better than big. Simple is better than complex. KISS. Keep things simple, stupid. Personal, better than corporate. Physical, better than abstract. Now, I like physical. A lot better than abstract. Oh, yeah. I think we're talking about two different things. Hey, he talks about all the time, and I had a great opportunity to go up to Delia's, and that's in Saudi Daisy, and eat. And I mean, the food is excellent. It is excellent food. And it is, it's not Tex-Mex, it's Mexican food. And she puts love in her food, and you can taste the love. Man, can you taste the love? So if you're in Saudi Daisy, I'll tell you what, if you're in Hickson and you want some good Mexican food and you want it, for lunch or maybe for dinner, then just go to Saudi Daisy. Very easy to find there. She's on Old Dayton Boulevard, and you just ride up there. You get off the Thrasher Pike exit and go into Saudi, and she's right there on the left. The burrito plate, you'll love her burritos, and it's $1 off today. I think if you mention David's name, you get a free tea. So go in and say, even though you heard this on my show, and I know how hungry you are right now with me talking, I know you're like, man, I've got to eat. I want some Mexican. Great salsa. To me, that's what makes a great Mexican restaurant. She has very good salsa. The chips are always crisp. How some of the Mexican places you go in and some of the chips are, like a piece of chewing gum that you pick them up and they just kind of fall down. But her chips are always crisp. They're always warm. Great salsa, great food. Go up there at Delia's, and it's Dayton Pike, right there near the Thrasher Pike light. So if you're going up, 127, you just get off at Thrasher Pike, take a left and go over to Delia's, but you're going to love it. Today's the burrito plate. It's $1 off that today. It's only $5.50. I mean, $5.50. You can't have a better lunch from that. So go up and tell her, say, I heard it on the David Tulis show, but even though it was Mr. Judd that made me hungry. How about that? All right, look, we got the Digital Drive after me or here on Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. Then we have Clutch with Keon Rose. He's the sports dude. I'm sure he's going to be talking about Tennessee versus Alabama. Yep, that's the game around here. Nobody else will be talking about anything else but Tennessee and Alabama. And then you kind of hang around, at 5 o'clock on your ride home. We got a great news program. It's going to give you traffic and weather. And then, of course, the most unique show in this city of Chattanooga. We're going to cowboy up, get your spurs on, get your hat on, pull that 6-shooter out, because Tex is in the house from 6 to 7 here at Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. I am Mr. Judd, and I would love to humbly tell you thank you for listening to my show. But I'm not sure humility is one of my traits.
You give us 12